But I've had enough conversations lately that I believe there are people going through right now that are fearful of the future. It's an election year. We have a lot of things happening. We're looking at the economy. We're seeing what's happening, especially my friends in real estate and mortgage. There's a lot of disruption. Some of it we kind of know, we've seen before. Some of it, I believe, is unique.
From a professional soccer career to becoming a driving force in the mortgage industry, Brian Covey has shown what it takes to find your competitive edge. Get off the sidelines and get in the game. Find your competitive edge with Brian Covey.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another edition of Finding Your Competitive Edge. So today, going to be a little bit different, dropping a solo episode, and you're going to want to tune into this because I'm actually going to share some of my journey and stories and save some of you from the heartbreak, loss, pain, and some things that I've experienced in my career directly as a result of lessons that I had to learn the hard way. What do I mean by that? Well, you've all probably been in an experience where you thought someone was trustworthy, you thought someone had your back, maybe you thought you were at the right organization or in the right opportunity, only to find out that someone did not have your best interest at heart. You got caught up in the drama that happens at the workplace or people pull you into, and you look up and you realize you're either not in the right spot or you have somebody that you entrusted that's not who they showed up as or turned out to be who you thought they were. So I'm going to walk you through some of that, as I believe this is something we can actually learn lessons from other people, and it will accelerate our experience and what we're able to do in our own lives. As look, if you can learn a lesson from someone that's already gone through it and you don't have to experience it to that same level, you're going to be more aware, you're going to make better decisions, and you're going to be able to move your life forward. So guys, about 7 years ago, I was actually faced with one of these experiences, and somebody that I looked up to and really had a lot of respect for blindsided me with a phone call. I'll never forget getting that phone call, and they basically walked me through all the reasons that I wasn't a fit anymore, didn't want to work with me anymore. They said I would struggle and all these things in my career, of all these things. I go, well, this isn't true. Is the results are something different? And I started to ask them questions. They had no answers and no responses other than, hey, it's just not working out, and we're gonna go a different direction and all of this. And it left me with questions that for many of us, whether you got the job, you got fired from the job, you applied for a job and didn't get it, and you didn't get the feedback and the things that were there, there's things that we can learn from this. And I'll never forget going through that. You start to doubt, you start to second guess yourself, you start to really wonder and worry, like, okay, God, like, what is this about? And you start to emotionally think. And our first response is the emotions take over the logic, because in that moment, we're in almost a fight or flight type of response, and maybe even freeze. And we're trying to figure out, what do we do next? What happens from here? Is this even true? Like, we start to doubt ourselves and our abilities and where we are and what's happening. And I want to encourage you, if you're going through that season right now and you've either been let go from your job, which I know is happening in our industry, in the mortgage industry a lot, in some other industries, or you're trying to get another role in a job and you got turned down, you got passed over. That happened to me several times in my career, right? I don't talk about it as much, but over 22 years, there are more roles that I got turned down for than I've actually had. And you think about that and go, whoa, hold on. Brian, like you've had these great roles, you've had this career, it seems to be on this trajectory that's up and up. The reality is, for all of us, there's seasons and there's setbacks and there are things that happen. And I believe many of those are the storms that teach us lessons. So I want to share one of those lessons that I learned, and that was really around discernment. And I think back to, okay, what would I've done differently, in that experience 7 years ago? And one of those, it was a book I read early in my career, came out, you guys probably know Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, on extreme ownership. And in these situations, it's tough for us to look in the mirror, but I would tell you it's the first place you need to start. You need to look in the mirror and understand, okay, what did I do to contribute to this? Hey guys, it's Brian here. I hope you are enjoying the show. By the way, if you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur looking to grow your personal brand, make a bigger impact, maybe increase your leads and grow your revenue, let's help you get started today by connecting up with my friends over at the Brand Builders Group. You've heard me talk about them, but if you're new here, this is definitely the first step to get you started in turning your reputation into revenue. Head over to freebrandcall.com Brian Covey. Again, to set up your free brand call, go to freebrandcall.com/Brian Covey to set up a free strategy call with one of the team at Brand Builders, and they will dive into your specific goals for how you want to grow your personal brand. I can't wait to hear how it goes. And a lot of times we ask the wrong question. We ask the question of, what did I do wrong? How is it my fault? Right? And we're going down this other path versus, what did I do to contribute to this? And this allows us then to be, in a way, objective and go, okay, are there things I didn't do that I should have been doing, that I shouldn't have done? Did I do things the wrong way as I was there? And you start to kind of process this, and you look and realize the fact is we contribute to every situation one way or the other. Whether you're passive in a situation, maybe you're too overly aggressive in a situation, we contribute even when we're listening to other people talk drama about someone else. And I'll tell you, one of the red flags in this situation for me was the way that this person, and we've seen it with others, probably in your own life, the way they treat others and the way they talk about others is a direct reflection of how they may talk about you when you're not in that setting. And so I want you to think about, as you're looking for great leaders, you're looking for people you want to be around, how much are they talking about people versus how much are they talking about things? The best leaders, we've heard this, talk about ideas and a vision for the future. One of my top 5 strengths is futuristic. And so oftentimes I will think that way just because that's where my brain goes. And even in that, although it's a blessing, it can also be a curse because it will pull me back into the fact that some people are not futuristic. They're talking about right now, right here. What can we do to address what's happening here? And so I want you to think about, as a leader, are you talking about people, things, or ideas in the future? So that's something that can help you. As you think about discernment, I mentioned that a minute ago. As you look at leaders, look at that track record, look at who they are inside and outside of the office. You see, there were behaviors that I was ignoring about this individual that I thought, man, that's just part of who they are. That's just who they are. Look, we have choices. Are you aligned up with people that have the right core vision and values to who you want to be associated with? You see, no longer do I believe you can be someone outside of the office somewhere and be someone different on social and be someone different when you show up, with your group of friends versus in your corporate setting and your office with your team. Like, you are a human being, and however you are being is who you are, and that's how you show up. And so for all my leaders out there, this is the challenge for us, is how are you showing up? Both when people see you and don't see you. One of the things we talk about quite a bit is those that are active on social is the reality of how you show up on social. And then when someone meets you, are those congruent? Are those things together? And for many people, you'll see they're not, right? They're on stage one way, they come off stage, they go here, they go there. They're very much just like in presenter mode. And the reality is, when you sit down with them, many times there may not be the substance that was there. Cling to the ones that alignment is there. I know I've got some people in my life, some amazing leaders that I've shared with you guys, even on our text thread that I talk about, that they not only show up like everywhere that way, but there are times that no one would ever know. There's no social media post about it. There's nothing like an award that was given to them. It's just who they are and how they show up. So back to the overall message today. Don't know what season you're in. I don't know what you're going through. But I've had enough conversations lately that I believe there are people going through right now that are fearful of their future. It's an election year. We have a lot of things happening. We're looking at the economy. We're seeing what's happening, especially my friends in real estate and mortgage. There's a lot of disruption. Some of it we kind of know, we've seen before. Some of it, I believe, is unique. It's not an 07, 08 type of market. It's not a 2018 type of market. And while we've had all these years where we've been saved by either improving home sales, dropping interest rates, things kind of came along and saved us. This cycle is very unique. And we're seeing a lot of that play through. And so we got people that are fearful. We got people that are really concerned about what that future might look for them. And they're hesitant about, like, what do I do? And some of them want to make a change, but they don't know where to go, what to do, what could be next. And they're afraid. You don't have to look any further than loan officers that have made moves and then forced to make another move in 6 months, a year, 2 years, because they didn't end up at the right place. And many of them didn't do their homework, or they didn't have clarity about, okay, who do I want to work for and why? And so I want to give you some advice today about what that could look like for you. Because in this season, some of you are in, you know you need to make a change. You know you need to change some things in your life. And it does start with each of us. And I talk about this often, but it's one of those, it is a pillar for getting your mental and physical and spiritual health right. I just picked up this new book recently, and a huge John Maxwell fan. So I'm excited to be reading through this. If you haven't picked it up yet, definitely take a look at that. And I believe we're living in this world. He talks about in a world that divides quite often. And there are leaders that intentionally divide. And there are companies, there are bad actors out there. We've seen all of the frauds on social lately. And we need more leaders that know how to unite people and actually bring them together. And so in this season for you, as you're looking to make that change, it starts with you. It starts with that mental, physical, and spiritual side. I believe that you get that right. You get those things in order in your house. Look, being available with your family, being available doing the things that you love to do is going to contribute to you being a better team member and leader in your organization. Now, as you look for that next potential move, I want to encourage you with this. Don't be afraid to ask the hard questions. Don't be afraid to ask and in a way really demand what you would like to know. You see, oftentimes I talk to people and they don't ask enough questions. They don't ask the question behind the question. They take a simple yes or no. They get responses. They have people just tell them half-truths or part of what's there. And they don't get the outcome they wanted because they didn't ask the questions as they went through it. And so one of my favorite people to follow, I'll just tell you, over with the FBI negotiator is Chris Voss. And he gives some powerful questions as he goes through. And I love the way that he frames up some of that. So you might just check out some of his content that he's got there, because I believe that'll help you ask better questions. It'll help you as you're in negotiations, actually not create the win-win that many people talk about, but actually navigate through that and ask the right questions and understand what you're signing up for as you go through a move. So this last part of it I want to share with you. This is the wisdom I learned going through this. Ask the leader from a visionary standpoint. Where do they see themselves going in the organization, and how do they see you fitting into it? Ask the leader that you're joining about their journey, their growth, their personal development. Are they coached by somebody? If they're not, red flag. Just going to tell you from experience. If they are, great news. It'd be easy for them to answer, what are they working on in their journey? Second part of that is, where's the company going? Where's the vision for what's happening there? And I believe then that most important one for you to understand is, how do you play a role in that? How could you contribute, right? Because you have me looking at a role, potential opportunity that's there, but where along this journey together could I contribute in ways maybe outside of my role initially and find things to do that are fulfilling? You see, oftentimes I look back, there were people that wanted to hire me, or I'd see others, they would hire you just for a very specific role. They just wanted to put you in the job, fill a seat, fill a spot, take some workload off of them, but they never had a vision for the future. Great leaders will help you identify your dream, codify it, clarify it, so you have clarity about what your vision is, and they're going to come alongside you and help you achieve that. So, guys, a lot of stuff today that I wanted to share with you just from my heart, some conversations I've had lately. If this has impacted you, resonates with you, you have more questions about it, as always, reach out directly. Let us know how we're doing with the show and how these are helping you move along. That is the goal of all these shows, especially when we start doing more solo episodes like these, is I want to speak from what's happening, from experience, and lessons that you can go actually implement in a shorter, little kind of micro episode here as we go forward. So as always, guys, go out there, do something great. Make sure you're using your competitive edge in the service of others, and share this episode with somebody. It'd be pretty cool. Share it with your friends. Until the next time, guys, have a great day. Talk to you soon.